Nobody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sport, and a very, very surprising South Africa A side being named by Nzwandile Stick this morning, with two shock conclusions of players we didn't even understand were to be in the squad, all suddenly being named in the 23, one starting, one on the bench, and that is the two du Preez twins, people who two players who I think a lot of people have been lost to the Springbok system, suddenly back within the system, back involved in the 23. Also, three scrum halves being named in the 23. So very interesting to see what the story is behind that. And I think a very interesting press conference is to come when they will sort of explain exactly how they got to these sort of selections and how certain players who were involved in the squad are suddenly within the 23. Why some of these selections have been made the way they were. But it's a very interesting South Africa A side and gives a couple of selection hints as well as to what we could see with the Springboks this weekend. Before we do look at the tide, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. This is how we will line up on Thursday up against Munster. It will be live on Media Sport, by the way. So if you download ExpressVPN, link in the description, you'll be able to watch that match for free. But if we look at here, in the front row, Instuku Nkunu, Joseph Dweba, and Thomas du Toit, who captains the side. Nkunu and du Toit playing a lot of rugby together. Joseph Dweba, this is a big opportunity for him. He's been really quite poor for the Springboks this year, really struggled and hasn't really sort of kicked on at Stormers. So he gets an opportunity today, but he really needs to make it count. He really has to grab it with both hands, and he needs to go and prove that he still can play at this level. The lock combination of Jason Jenkins, Ruanok here does indicate that neither will be involved this weekend. So Sal Murat, for example, Marvin Oy, more sort of seem to be more sort of backed to fill in with Lourdes Diaga if they do need to jiggle it around there. You look at the loose trio, Pepsi Buthelezi starts next to Albert Lowe, Jean-Luc du Preez starting, somebody we didn't even realize was within the selection, was even available to the Springboks because they didn't name him in the squad. Suddenly in the starting lineup. Also no Evan Nurse this week, which is quite interesting because it means that he'll stay with the Springbok squad. Same as, for example, somebody like Andre Esterhuizen, who I think a lot of people are hoping was going to get a bit of time with the SAA side, having not played too much, but he's also not involved. The halfback combination, Herschel Yankees partners, Johan Goosen. Johan Goosen was probably always going to play. I would have liked to have seen Johnny Lombard, just because I think there's a bit more continuity there. But at the end of the day, if Johan Goosen is going to be a World Cup option, he needs to play rugby. And this is probably the closest thing we will get to a test match environment. Herschel Yankees, bit of a lifeline here. He needs to take it. He needs to prove what he can do. With two scrum offs on the bench, he's going to be very easily replaceable if he doesn't play well. Leon Zas is into the squad and into the starting lineup. He partners former fellow Stormers wing Suleiman Hartzenberg, and the back three is completed by Apple Fassi. In the centres, Cornel Hendricks, with all that experience, will be next to the very exciting Henko van Wyk. We did expect Henko van Wyk to start, Cornel Hendricks as well. Such a class player at the moment, and we're very much looking to show that he can still not only play at this level, but can be a genuine option for the Boks. If you look at the bench, it's a very young front row. Andre Hugo Fentus and Pierre Mantanzima, Sally Sunday, a bit of a look in to the next generation. Dan du Preez is on the bench covering lock as well as flank, and then Sikombozi Noche as well makes the bench. Then we've got Grant Williams, Senere Nahamba, and Gianni Lombard, which is very interesting because Gianni Lombard is a natural 10, can play 15, very much in the outside back mold though, can probably play in the centres, can play probably on the wing as well. So that's what I think he's a very exciting option for the Springboks, because they very much look at utility players, and he's very much a utility player. But for me, it looks like Seneda Hamba is actually almost there that can cover 10. He has played there previously. Very good goal kicker as well, or capable goal kicker, as we saw for the Lions when he had to fill in during a yellow card. Kicked very well off the tee. And Grant Williams, somebody who can cover wing as well as scrum off. So very interesting to see that we have gone two scrum offs on the bench, especially, to be fair, if you look at the side, there are a lot of players there who can cover lots of different positions. For example, Apple Fassi could probably play across the back three. Henko van Wyk could probably also play on the wing as well. Suleiman Hartzenberg has been somebody who's been taught, can play at centre. Cornel Hendricks can play pretty much anywhere across the back line, 11 through to 15. Johan Goosen can shift to 15 as well. Herschel Yankees can play on the wing if needs be. So it's a very flexible back line, which I think has allowed the two scrum halves to be on the bench itself. But that in itself is a very interesting selection to sort of see how they balance it towards the end of the game, whether one will be going to wing or whether it will be saying, Snahamba, let's see what we can do at fly half, which is a very weird proposition. But yeah, it's interesting to see, and I'm very looking forward to seeing what sort of Nzwandile Stick says about this lineup. Very cool to see the two du Preez twins involved. more importantly, very interesting to see which players are not considered for the SAA squad, because that kind of shows you a pecking order. So, for example, it shows you that Evan Lewis currently now sits very close to playing for the Boks. For example, if Franco Mostert were to move into the starting lineup this weekend, Evan Lewis could very much feature from the bench against France, which in itself is quite interesting. Let me know what you think of the team down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.